mask midway through his performance.
So for him to feel comfortable and confident enough to actually take it off, mid-song, it was like an aha moment. I was really proud of him.
Riley wound up advancing to the semifinals, while British roller skaters Billy and Emily went straight to the finals. Thanks to Mel B's golden buzzer, which allowed her to steal them from Simon's team.
That was the best thing ever. And then on top of that, his act were like, yes, we're so happy we're on your team now, Mel B.
And Simon's not one to let a challenge go unanswered.
I stood there, I didn't sing, I felt like a Spice Girl.
I got to throw water on Simon again. I got to hear Howie chewing my ear off. It's like, family. We love each other and we annoy each other.
Just like families tend to do. Mark Barger, NBC News.
This is NBC4 News at 5.
Now at 5, the race for the White House is officially kicking off right now. The first votes in the 2024 presidential election are being cast in Iowa. That's where the first caucus in the nation is being held. Good evening, everyone. I'm Annabelle Sedano.
And I'm Colleen Williams. As we speak, Iowa voters are deciding who they believe the Republican nominee should be in the race. And yes, they are venturing out into the cold. Our Conan Nolan joins us live from Iowa, where he's got his eye on the candidates and, of course, the weather there. And once again, you're inside today. Conan.
And that's right. With about 250 other caucus goers, this is Adel, Iowa, community about 40 minutes outside of Des Moines, mostly white, somewhat rural, somewhat suburban. These folks are all lined up. They're about to get underway right at 7 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Pacific is when they start this process. In a few moments, they're going to, there they go. In a few moments, they're going to hear from, first of all, there's a Pledge of Allegiance. There'll be an invocation. They're going to hear from several of the campaigns, 3-minute speeches from surrogates representing the various campaigns. The Trump campaign has brought Congressman Jim Jordan, a Republican of Ohio, who almost became the Speaker of the House, very much a pro-Trump member of the House Freedom Caucus in the U.S. House of Representatives. I asked him just a minute ago what's going to be his pitch when he comes to the microphone.
It's the old fundamental question. It's the Reagan question. You're better off now than you were, 4 years ago. And anyone with common sense says, what we had under President Trump was great. I always point out that President Trump, more than any president I've ever seen, did more of what he said, more of what he told the voters he was going to do if they elected him. He got in there and did those things. And people appreciate that and respect that. So I think that's going to be the reason that he wins big today, wins in New Hampshire, wins in South Carolina, gets the nomination, and then I think he's going to win in November.
If he runs the table here,
yeah,
wins in New Hampshire, it's over.
Yeah, normally it's the first 2 or 3. How do you do in Iowa? How do you do in New Hampshire? How do you do in South Carolina? And so I think he's going to win all of them.
Now, for any campaign in a caucus, you need organization. You need volunteers. Remember, this is, the caucus is done by volunteers. It's not professionally done. It's not put on by the state. It's put on by the party. Those folks there, that Trump caucus captain hat, that's what the Trump folks, again, they have their captains who are here to make sure their support, talk people into switching votes from whether they were interested in DeSantis or perhaps Nikki Haley. There are also individuals in orange. We see a few of them out here representing the DeSantis campaign. Incidentally, this is a suburban caucus to a certain degree. This is where Nikki Haley was supposed to do well with suburban Republicans, less in favor of Donald Trump. One of the concerns of late has been whether or not she had the organization. She got a lot of money at the end, but did she have the volunteer staff that come to places like this and rally support for her and get people to write her name down when the ballots are cast out? We haven't seen anybody from the Nikki Haley campaign. Seen DeSantis and lots of Trump. But this could be a problem for her because this kind of organization is fundamental. Now, Craig here is going to start things off, and as he welcomes everyone to Adel High School and starts to get this process underway, We're seeing this in thousands of sites just like this throughout Iowa.